Jonesboro, Tennessee in 1942, and it was, you know, I was a war baby, and my mother and my grandmother and my older sister and I came out to California following my grandfather, and so I was raised in California in a little town called Santa Rosa, California, which was 36,000 people then. Now it's 100 and some thousand people, or 200,000. But I grew up in California, and I'm not too familiar with the southern way, but like a lot of my people are, I've got a lot of southern people in my family. I mean, all my mother and those people were like hillbillies, you know? And so I'm very kind of acquainted with that, with the country music, so to speak. It was their first love. You know, they used to listen to the Grand Ole Opry and that kind of thing in Tennessee. So, I mean, it's always been in my blood. My mother loved Duke Ellington and Count Basie and a lot of those cats, and you know, and my uncles and those people played. And my family's pretty. We've got some famous musicians there, and musical people in my family from Tennessee. I started playing when I was 2. A guy from the Philippine Islands named Benny Omasaw came over and was playing for my mother, and I was like 2 years old, and I wanted to play the guitar, so he put me on his lap, and I played it. And he gave me one. He gave me a Gibson. The guy that gave me the guitar was like, he was the best guitar player in the Philippine Islands. I was 12 when I started playing the saxophone again. Then I played saxophone for a few years in junior high school, and then by then I was like, my family had more or less manipulated me into athletics because I was tall, I was big, and I was good at sports, and so they started, from the time I was 12, I think, they started kind of pushing me towards sports, you know, and like, we'll let the music go. It's good to be music, but there's no money in it, you know. You're a good athlete, and you know, so they kind of directed me towards sports. So by the time I was, so I never got to play any music, and from like the 9th grade till I was out of high school. And then out of high school, I got hurt when I was in my senior year in high school, just after the school year, and I was in the hospital for a long time, and I got to think about music again while I was in the hospital and my painting and stuff. So when I got out of the hospital, I couldn't play sports anymore. So then I got to concentrate on music and painting, you know, per se, because I couldn't play sports, you know. And I saw Jimi Hendrix play with the Isley Brothers in 1964 at a Johnny Otis show, which inspired me to keep playing the guitar. And I wrote a song for him called Purple Haze from that viewing of him, which got to Janice. Janice asked me to write it down for her one night, and I gave it to her. She gave it to Jimmy, and the rest is history, of course. Purple Haze was my best song, I think, at the time. Well, actually, it wasn't my most famous song for the 60s that I played. The famous song was a song called Size 26, which was one that was like, it was a drug song. Once my lady wore a size 26, and she was made from stainless steel. When I flowered in her blossom, made my world so damn real. But now, truth and age have caught me, running out of time, with a heart that's turned cold and lonely, searching for another petty rhyme. Ghost of love still haunts me, sadly watches my every move. Even when I run some heavy changes, she anticipates my deeper groove. Once my lady wore a size 26, but her kisses burnt me like dry ice. She took me for all my money, played my very best game. Broke my heart, you guessed it twice.